What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So, what is C0252? The official description is ABS, hydraulic pump motor control fault. In simple terms, your car's computer, the engine control module, or EC, has detected a problem with the electric motor that powers your anti-lock braking system pump. This pump is the heart of your ABS. It rapidly pulses the brake pressure to prevent your wheels from locking up during a hard stop, helping you maintain steering control. When this motor isn't working correctly, your ABS, and sometimes your traction control systems, get disabled as a safety measure. Your regular brakes will still work, but you won't have that anti-lock assistance. So, what are the common culprits behind this code? The first and most obvious suspect is the ABS pump motor itself. Like any electric motor, it can wear out over time or fail internally. The wiring and connectors leading to the motor are another major area to check. A loose connection, a corroded pin, or a frayed wire can easily interrupt the power or signal the motor needs to run. Don't forget about the fuse or relay for the ABS pump. A simple blown fuse can be the root of all your problems, so it's always one of the first things you should check. It's a quick, easy, and cheap fix, if that's the issue. In rarer cases, the problem might not be with the motor itself, but with the control module that commands it. This is the ABS module, which is often part of the same assembly as the pump and motor. This module is the brain of the operation, and if it has an internal electronic failure, it can't properly control the motor, triggering the C0252 code. Alright, let's get our hands dirty and talk about diagnosis. The first step is always a visual inspection. Pop the hood and locate your ABS module assembly. It usually looks like a metal block with a bunch of brake lines going into it and an electric motor attached. Carefully inspect all the wiring and connectors going to it. Look for any signs of damage, corrosion, or loose connections. Wiggle the connector a bit to make sure it's seated firmly. Next, find the fuse and relay for the ABS pump in your car's fuse box. Your owner's manual will have a diagram showing you which ones they are. Pull the fuse and check if it's blown. If it is, replace it with a new one of the exact same amp. If the new fuse blows immediately, you have a short circuit somewhere that needs to be tracked down. You can also test the relay to see if it's functioning correctly. If the fuse and wiring look good, the next step is to test the motor itself. For this, you'll need a motor. You can check for power and ground at the motor's connector. With the key on, you should see battery voltage. If you have power and ground, but the motor isn't running when it should, the motor has likely failed. Another test you can perform is to apply power and ground directly to the motor S terminals using a fused jumper wire. Be very careful doing this. If the motor spins, you know the motor is good, and the problem lies elsewhere, likely in the wiring or the control module. So, what are the repair options? If it's a blown fuse, that's an easy replacement. If it's a wiring issue, you'll need to repair the damaged section of the harness or clean the corroded connector. If you've confirmed the ABS pump motor has failed, you'll need to replace it. In many cases, the motor, pump, and control module are sold as a single unit, which can be expensive. However, some companies specialize in rebuilding these units, which can be a more budget-friendly option. Replacing the entire ABS module assembly can be a complex job that involves bleeding the entire brake system afterward. So if you're not comfortable with that, it's best to leave it to a professional mechanic. And that's a wrap on fault code C0252. It might seem intimidating with the ABS light on, but by following a logical diagnostic process, you can pinpoint the problem and get your car's safety systems back in working order. Remember, start with the simple stuff like fuses and wiring before jumping to conclusions about expensive parts. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you out, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Drive safe, and I'll see you in the next one.